Hey everyone, this is Miles from VRDrillersBlog.com, here today with a video review of the Lenovo ThinkPad tablet. Now, this is one of the most interesting, in my opinion, honeycomb tablets that have come out this year. So far they've always generally been pretty similar. Things like the Asus ePad Transformer and the Toshiba Thrive have shaken it up a bit, and I think this one, despite being marketed at the business market, is one of the ones that really is a nice addition and unique. So let's start out with the specs. It runs Android 3.1 right out of the box. Has a 10.1 IPS LCD display. The resolution is 1280 by 800. Has 16 gigabytes of flash memory. I think it has a 32 gigabyte version, maybe a 64. Definitely 32 though. It has a gigabyte of RAM. It has an SD. It has flash storage on there, and we'll get to the ports a little bit later. The front-facing camera is 2 megapixels, and the one around back is 5. So nothing that exciting there. But the processor is a Tegra 2 dual core that runs at 1 gigahertz per core. So the specific graphics chip, although I haven't kept up with these. It's the NVIDIA Tegra 2 T20 GeForce ULP. So let's go ahead and get to the ports on this. Along the bottom here, we have this kind of pop-out slot here. It has a full SD card slot and a SIM card slot. That's a standard SIM, not micro or any of that stuff. Here we have a docking port. That's only compatible with one accessory at the moment. It's pretty much a charging, maybe a USB dock. This is a micro USB port. That's what you'll charge this through. And that's a nice bonus since you can just charge it through a computer, unlike many other honeycomb tablets. It has micro HDMI here. Mini. Sorry, mini HDMI, which I actually prefer over micro, which, as you can see here, is what's on the Evo, right there. So, and then of course it has the microphone and headphone jack. Over around on this side, we have a slide-out USB 2 port. Now, I really love to see these in tablets. The Arcos 101 has one as well, if I get that. As you can see right there. Anyway, I love to have full-size USB ports on tablets. It lets you put a keyboard in there, put a mouse. It also is what the ThinkPad tablet uses if you want to get the kind of folio keyboard accessory. It just will dock right into that. As you can see, the speaker is right here on the bottom. It's only a single speaker, but it's a little bit quiet. Would have preferred more volume out of that, but it's pretty decent in terms of quality. Up along top here, we have a standard volume rocker, and we have this for the pen, and I'll get to that in detail later. But you can attach the pen. There it is. Yeah, just not sure if you can see this, but up top there's a space to just thread it through there and attach it to this area right there, just like on a camera. On this side, you just have the power button right up there. And on the back, you can see that, let me get focused here. You can see that Lenovo really wanted to make it kind of reminiscent of their ThinkPad line. So we have the ThinkPad logo there. The red light will light up while it's on, while it's doing certain tasks, that kind of stuff. And of course, just the Lenovo logo up there. Up in the top right-hand corner from this position, there you can see the 5 megapixel camera and the microphone right next to that. Okay, so what makes this tablet different than all the other ones? Well, the most accentuating feature is the notes feature, which you can use with the pen. As you can see, it's really responsive. It's the same technologies on the Flyer. It has palm rejection, so you can write like this if you want to. It won't detect your hand. Well, it'll do a pretty good job of not detecting your hand most of the time. Like as you can see here, just let me, not sure if you can see that or not, but there's a few little dots that show up just from the instant that it doesn't realize you have your palm down on the screen. But in general, it's a really nice feature to have on there, and something that I was worried about when I first got the tablet or deciding to get it was that you wouldn't be able to write small enough to take any really nice notes on it, but that's definitely not the case with this. As you can see, it's really accurate. You can do really nice detail on here, and that's great if you have some of the drawing applications like Sketchbook Pro, I think it is. But yeah, really great feature. The other feature in this included note-taking app is that it'll transcribe your handwriting. So let me try this here. Yeah, see, there you go. It'll convert that to text, so you can just export it as a text document instead of a picture, which is the default if you just do freehand. Now for me, I use this for math a lot, so I usually stick with the freehand as opposed to the transcription, just that's easier to do. But they're both great features. I'm probably going to be expanding or replying to the Engadget review of this during this review. They said the transcription was awful. For me, it worked right off the bat pretty accurately. Here and there, you have a few words that it'll get wrong, especially if you have messy handwriting. But if you write legibly, it gets it most of the time. Okay, so before I go any further, I'll go ahead and show off the IPS display. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a technology that gives you really great viewing angles. As you can see, it's definitely on par with stuff like the iPad, Galaxy Tab 10.1, any of those products. There's very little color degradation, although it obviously gets darker, but that only happens when you get to this point, and honestly, you're not going to be viewing your tablet from this position anyway. So, we have the pen, that's a really great feature. We have the great hardware. What else? Now, so the other thing that makes this tablet different than the others on the market is the hardware buttons. So normally, like with Honeycomb, they got rid of having hardware buttons for the most part. In exchange for the software ones. Now, that's fine, but since this is marketed at the business market, you want to have really easy features to use, and oftentimes the software controls don't do that. So here you have the screen orientation lock. You have the ability to open a browser just like that. You have a back button there and a home button right here. Now those are really great features to have. I find myself using them a lot more than the software buttons. Just since, especially if you're holding it in portrait mode, it's easier, for me at least, to just tap on that than to reach down and press the home button on the screen. Now, another response to the Engadget review, these are definitely not hard to press. Now, I think Engadget's problem was that they were trying to press it like right on the edge here, and you can, but Lenovo has specifically made sure that it's harder to do than pressing them closer and like this, so that if you bump it against something, if you're holding it in a weird way, you don't accidentally press the buttons all the time, which is a big problem early on. I mean, it's a big problem with capacitive buttons like this. So, yeah, if you press them close in to the screen of the device, like it's meant to be pressed, then you won't have any problem with that at all. They're great to have on there. What else? This has 1080p mirroring. So if I were to unplug my camera here and plug this into the TV, it would be full 1080p on there. It looks great. It's very responsive. Now, the battery on this, in my opinion, it's great. It's one of the best I've used. Now, on video tests where it just loops video, and with Wi-Fi on for as long as it takes, it'll run down in about 8.7 hours, I believe. And yeah, 8.7 hours for web browsing over Wi-Fi or video looping over Wi-Fi. But for average on and off use throughout the day, I don't really know that many people who are constantly on their tablet all day. So anything from the 7-hour to 10-hour range, in my opinion, is great battery life, all day battery life, and this definitely fits within this. I could probably, with my usage, that's note taking for about 2 to 4 hours, depending on the day. Web browsing, occasional video, things like that. Streaming music. So for what I would call the average usage of a tablet, it'll last all day. It'll last probably 3 days without having to be recharged. Now that's assuming you don't want to use it literally all day nonstop, but really, again, it's really great battery life. The last thing I guess I could show you is the stuff Lenovo includes with this. So the first part is, like, unlike the Flyer tablet, you can actually use the stylus to do normal finger presses. You can do all this stuff fine. And the second thing would be Lenovo includes tons and tons of software when you buy this, marketed at business. You have Citrix Receiver, which is kind of a remote desktop enterprise application. You have a syncing application, have Angry Birds, you have the Lenovo App Shop, you have, what else? You have various communication tools like eBuddy, e-reader for books like that. You have McAfee antivirus for Honeycomb. You have all this great stuff. It's like $40 worth of software, I think, that they include for free on this. So that's really great to have, and really helps give this tablet an edge over other competition. So the other part is that you can also get some Lenovo widgets that they've included themselves. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah, so they have a bookmark application. It's pretty much just like the regular Honeycomb one, but they have a specific calendar app, 3 different size versions. They have their launcher. They have Lenovo Mail. I'll just set that up real quick so you can see. Okay. So, as you can see, Calendar app is pretty nice if you want this kind of interface on your home screen. If not, the Google one is fine, as you can see right here. The Mail app, again, pretty similar to how the Honeycomb Gmail one works. And yeah, I believe that's there. Their launcher is pretty much just to launch, again, their included software. You have launching the music player, and they can be assigned to different things. Right now, the default is Slack or Radio. You can launch email with this, and of course you can launch the browser. So it's a great feature if you want that kind of stuff, especially since you can reassign them. I didn't find myself using them that much, just more of the Honeycomb stock ones, but who knows, in the future I might use them. There's certainly nothing wrong with those widgets. In addition to that, Lenovo has included the ability to exit out of all of the apps you have running instead of having to use a task manager, as well as a kind of custom favorites menu that you can also customize. All in all, the Lenovo ThinkPad tablet is a absolutely great buy. I've found myself moving more towards business marketed products in the past few years. It's definitely really high quality. It's on the heavier side for tablets, but they balance the weight exceptionally well. It doesn't feel heavy in my hand. While I wouldn't want to use it as an ebook reader in bed, for instance, it's fine for standing up, taking notes, sitting down, any of that kind of stuff. So great tablet, great price. I got mine for $490 with the stylus. Through Lenovo, it's about $530 with the stylus, I believe. But there's other sources like buy.com and MacMall for the stylus. But yeah, all in all, great tablet, great features, great price, great competitor.